If you're going to come up with some solution, then the truth is really, really important, I think.
As an example, let me start by showing you a doctored CNN video courtesy of Witricity of their former CTO. The original CNN video is on the left. She's holding up a real Prodigy demo kit. The one on the right is voila, we bring magic to your home. Funny thing is, they kept the CNN logo even though it doesn't exist in that form in the CNN archive. And here is their current CEO reiterating that they have achieved 90% efficiency over several feet, which is reiterated on the Wikipedia page, which they are free to edit, by the way. A little surprised, I dug out the original MIT thesis dated September 2007 on which the company is based. But to my surprise, June 2007 was an article in the MIT News several months prior to the thesis showing the team sitting between the two coils with a 60-watt bulb dangling there. By standing between the two coils delivering energy, they are somehow trying to imply that it's safe for humans. Anyway, here's the professor, Solya Chich, and his student, Andre Kurz, standing right here. Now look very closely. This article appeared in June 2007 and the name Witricity was already there. And subsequently, several months later, in fact, the thesis was submitted. So, a very odd sequence, the cart before the horse. You had the company, the PR articles, and then the technical justification. No wonder you had graduate students proclaiming it was 1 million times better than the competition. I decided to dig in and find out what they meant by 1 million times more efficient. Well, in the abstract itself, they say 1 million times more efficient was barely 45%. Anyway, you scroll down, you see their setup, and then you see a curve with the efficiency, 7 feet, 200 centimeters, yeah, 45%. But then you look at the fine print. They were actually drawing 400 watts from the wall at the time of delivering 60 watts. They just forgot to include that. So do the math. The efficiency was 3 times less at 15%. Probably when they say 90%, they mean 30%, because all they are talking about is the power leaving the transmitter coil and the power received at the receiver coil. Nothing else is included. That's not the way we engineers discuss efficiency, is it? So this is what happened. They lit a 60-watt bulb. They admitted to 73 watts as probably electromagnetic waves in the middle, but they did not admit to 267 watts, which would bring down the efficiency to 15%. The cart before the horse, and that is why it's 1 million times more efficient. But let's just keep sprinkling the name MIT all over and people will believe it.
CEO of Witricity. Witricity really began here at MIT.
And don't forget to throw in Nikola Tesla's name in the form of a Prodigy kit and throw in some mysticism.
As the frequency of the singer's voice begins to match the glass, energy is transferred to the glass and begins to build until the glass eventually shatters.
For a singer can break a wine glass, which is quite a big
There was a truth meter going right in the corner because there is absolutely no evidence that any opera singer ever broke a glass.
If you're going to come up with some solution, then the truth is really, really important, I think.
And then somebody's bizarre idea. Put a lady in a cage, bombard her cage with lightning bolts and pretend that this is somehow Nikola Tesla at work.
His name was Nikola Tesla. Tesla allowed hundreds of thousands of volts of electricity to pass through his body without causing pain or harm.
Don't the engineers at MIT know that it's current, not voltage, that kills?
But he didn't do this. This was done by another Croatian scientist.
What a cleverly crafted bedtime story that makes of Nikola Tesla having been reborn in Croatia to fulfill his dream, coming to America, forming Witricity, replete with wine glasses being shattered by opera singers and fields bending around metallic objects, a claim which even the master's thesis at MIT does not support, by the way. And 90% efficiency at 3 feet. That's probably 30%.
Very little power is lost, and low-level magnetic fields pose no health risk.
I would say that to get out of a cage too.
So it's super safe.
Indeed, we live in the Earth's magnetic field, but that is stationary. Time-varying magnetic fields generate electric fields which are not safe unless FCC says so.
It's very efficient.
Very efficient. Let's do the math. The receiver was only 100 milliwatts, connected to a USB source capable of 5 watts, efficiency 2%.
And it works over distance.
In fact, it only works across a distance. You assume that if the receiver was placed directly on top of the transmitter, it would continue to work. It doesn't, because the resonant frequency shifts dramatically, as I've explained in previous videos. That is the limitation of the technology. They were careful enough never to bring the receiver and the transmitter very close together, or you would know.
It also works through you.
Oh my goodness.
Safety first, guys. That doesn't sound safe. Nor does that.
No cancer.
Don't bet on it.
This is a source. By the way, FCC approved, FCC approved, FCC approved.
There you have it. Eric Geiler, the former CEO of Witricity, saying very clearly that it was FCC approved. In fact, their press releases said FCC certified, and they put it up for sale for $1,000. And it has an FCC sticker too. So help me understand why the missing manual of Prodigy actually says that it was only tested and found in compliance. There's a big difference between FCC compliant and FCC certified. And in fact, it says it was tested to part 18, which actually doesn't apply, because part 18 refers to ISM equipment, the first frequency of which is 6.78 MHz, whereas this was at 250 kHz. Summarizing, the manual is inaccurate and the CEO is lying. And I did check the FCC website. There's no record of any certified Witricity product.
About the same as density as the
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
It's real. It's here now. It's real. It's here now.
It never really was it? Almost all these companies lost a lot of money when Rezence collapsed. Do you want to learn the hard way too? Remember, Rezence A4WP from Witricity was failure wrenched from the jaws of victory, whatever their videos may have told you. You can fool millions of people out of millions of dollars, but you really can't fool Mother Nature.
The truth is really, really important.